Hi guys, welcome back to my live. How are you today? Are you ready for makeup class? Welcome to class, guys. Welcome to class. Welcome, welcome. Where are you watching from? Mm, 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 mm. Ba, 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 da, da. So already I have foundation on. It kind of looks and feels like skin, so I'm pretty content with that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do my highlights and my contour. If you don't know how to do like foundation application, you can check my other videos and you will see how to apply your foundation. So I like to use a foundation to do my contour. So I'm using the V Beauty brand, this one, in the shade Maroon 8. So I like to place it on the palette first and then pick it from a palette. So I advise that you do that. If you don't have a palette, you can put it on the back of your hand and then you can go ahead and start your application. Okay, so now that I've taken a sufficient amount, I'm going to grab a brush and this I'm going to use to pick up the contour, and I'm just placing it here and along my forehead. So I like to use a shade that is very close to skin tone, hence it doesn't really look like it's much, but I like it like that because I really want it nice and seamless. So I'll just get the brush to do the work. I'm going to grab a beauty blender and I'm going to go in and I'm just pressing it onto my skin. Now I'm going to grab the Rare Beauty blush. This is the shade Truth. Hi Dark Sense, how are you? Welcome to my live. How are you? Where are you watching from? So I like to place the blush like so. I'm going to do the same for here. Hi guys, welcome to my live. Do say hello in the chat and let me know where you're watching from. Hi Mary, where are you watching from? Welcome to my live. Oh, thank you. Now I'm going to grab a beauty blender and this I'm just going to use to pat in that blush. And as you can see, it blends softly and it looks very natural. That's what I'm going for. I'm doing the same here. Hi Silly Vanilli. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi Big T, how are you? Welcome to my live. Thank you, Mary. You haven't told me where you're watching from. Shout out to all the people watching from the US. Thanks for joining my live. Hi Catalina, how are you? So I like to grab my concealer from the Maybelline brand. This is the Super Stay. And this I like to use to do my highlight. I'm placing it at the back of my hand like so. And then I'm going to be picking it up from here. Using the same beauty blender, I'm going to be placing it here. Oh, hi Caldino. Guys, shout out to Caldino, watching all the way from Jamaica. Thank you for watching my live. So if you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Jennah and I do makeup on my live. I teach makeup on my live. So I'm just patting it. Oh, thank you. So this is how I get it looking seamless. I just like to pat like so. I like to keep on applying it until I get the coverage that I really want. Here I'm just placing for the under eye, and then I will place here. So for the under eye, you really don't want to crowd it. So you want to make sure that you're doing just sufficient, not too much, not too little, just sufficient enough. If you have very dark under eye, then you might need to color correct. But personally, I actually don't like color correcting. I don't feel like it is necessary sometimes, except you have like an extreme case of like dark under eyes. But then I feel like if you use a good full coverage concealer, then you're good. I like to blend with the damp beauty sponge. This just really helps the product to blend in properly. And make sure it's damp and not wet. You don't want to use a wet beauty sponge, but a damp one. That means when you squeeze it, there's no water coming out of it. So I am just pressing it in. Then I'm going to do this part last. I'm going to put just a little bit here and here. And this I'm going to let to sit and dry. Hi, Big Sean Dog. How are you? Welcome to my live. Where are you watching from? So as you can see, I've placed it there. And I'm just going to let it sit and dry for a bit. And then I will go ahead and do other things. So while that is going on, I'm going to go ahead and set my forehead. And I like to use a powder palette. Guys, my microphone. Really? Hmm. Right there. Okay. Hi, Shivam. How are you? Welcome to my live. How are you today? Thanks, Big Sean. I guess that's a compliment. Okay. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. And I'm just pressing it in like so. And this is what it looks like. Now, if you have smile lines, ew, thank you. Hmm. So I like to place it here because there's like a smile line there. And this just helps to fix that smile line. Ratchet, hmm? Okay, if you say so. Okay, so now this has been sitting for a while and I'm going to go ahead and blend it so that it doesn't dry completely. And this just gives you a very full Gaspix, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you? You have been away. What have you been up to? I am very well, thanks for asking. So this is what it's looking like. You can't sleep. Oh, well, you missed a lot. All the days were gone. We had so much fun. We had lots and lots of trivia, and it was pretty competitive. So that just kind of helps to hide that smile line. So that is done. I'm gonna go ahead and blend this one. Yeah, it was super competitive. For 3 days, I did like trivia. I feel like everyone just really enjoyed the trivia. Trivia. Maybe if a lot of people come today and they request, we might try to do another trivia. If you guys are up for it, just say trivia in the chat and then we will do a trivia. Okay. Now I'm gonna blend this one. So the purpose of leaving your concealer to sit for a bit is it gives you a fuller coverage. Now when you're done blending your under eye, you want to go ahead and set it immediately. Now I'm getting a setting powder, a loose setting powder, and this I am going to be using a brush. Take a little bit, tap it off. You want to place it with a brush and you're just pressing it in like so. This is what we call setting your highlight. So remember that we worked on the smile line, so remember to set that part too. Hi Ikenna, is this Ikenna that I know? Is this Ikenna that I know? Okay. Mary, I hear you, thank you. So I'm going to set the smile line here too. So as you can see, this is already looking nice. Okay. This I'm going to use. The one I know stays in Nigeria. Do you live in Nigeria? All right. Do you know me, Stanley? Do you? Do you? Okay. So, you want to see my outfit? No, there is no outfit. Really? Okay. So, I'm setting this part because I already highlighted it. Okay. If you say so. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kenna. So when I'm done with the highlighter, then I'm gonna go ahead and do my contour, blush, and then get into my brows. Now, if you really, really want this to really sit pretty, you can use like a beauty sponge to go after you've used the brush. So I'm just going to grab a beauty sponge, pick up a powder, and I like to press it on the back of my hand. Hi, Nina. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for being on my live. Where are you watching from? Shout out to you, Ikenna, watching all the way from Nigeria. Thanks for being on my live. So I'm just using the beauty blender to press it. And this will give you some sort of baking effect. It's not compulsory. If you set your under eye and you're okay with that, then you're good. You don't have to do this one. Remember to always tap on the back of your hand to even it out and then press. Nina, where are you watching from? Are you still here? Okay. And you can use the body. No, nope, 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 nope. Sorry, Mary, this is a live for makeup. So we're focusing on makeup, okay? We do makeup here. All right, so I'm gonna grab my contour brush and my powder palette and I'm going to set my contour. I'm not sure I understand what that means, but okay. And I like to tap off. And just blend everything. And I like to use the brush to move that contour upwards, just so that it blends seamlessly into the blush. Now, after I'm done with this, I'm going to set the blush. I'm using this blush palette, Sapidi blush. I'm going to be using this pink shade. And I'm grabbing the brush and going into that shade. And I'm just lightly placing it on the cream blush to set it. As you can see, a little goes a long way. Be very careful with like blushes, right? Because you can easily overdo it. So depending on what you want though. Some people like a lot of blush. If you want something light, I would say first of all hold your brush at the tip so that it gives you control and then you can be very soft handed with the blush. This is what a soft blush looks like. This is what a harsher looks like. So whatever you're achieving, it's all in the technique. So it's all in the technique. So if you feel like you overdid your blush, that is no problem. You can just keep on blending it until it softens out. If you feel like it's too harsh, you can still go in with a beauty blender and then just press it in like so. So this is what it's looking like. Now I am going to go ahead and spray this down. It's optional, but I find that whenever I do this, it actually helps the overall outcome of the makeup. So grab your spray. The spray I'm using is the Mario Badescu, the one that has aloe, rose water, and I think it says facial herbs, herbs, aloe, and then rose water. So I like to spray. I'm grabbing a fan. So you want to make sure that this dries before you touch it or before you apply anything else. Let it dry completely so that everything can set completely. Don't touch your face when it's wet. You're going to move the product. Okay, so it's almost dry. I'm just going to keep going at it until it's fully dry. Mhm. Mary, no, I don't. Thank you. Okay, this is done. Now you can go back with your powder and then you can still set it further. This really gives it that what do you call it? The full effect. I don't know how to call it right, but it really makes a difference, really. You really want to set your creams properly so that when they dry, they end up looking lasting and they stay longer and then they end up looking very, very nice. It just looks like you do a retouch every single time, but seriously, it's just the way you applied it, right? So if I put on makeup or if I do makeup for a client, the client is able to wear it for about 8 to 12 hours, right? Without having to retouch. It is just these little things that makes the difference. And I'm going to grab my setting powder and I'm going to reset again. I would usually do this if I was like working on a bride, but if you're doing like for yourself, you don't have to go full full makeup effect, right? But if, on the bride, I need the bride's makeup to really last, so this just works. So I'm going under the eye again. Always tap off the excess on your brush. So when you're applying with your brush or your beauty blender, you want to press so that it goes presses into the skin, right? You want it pressed into the skin. So I keep on doing that. Just keep on working it. And then here, so you can see like the smile line doesn't really protrude as much. Another trick that you can do for like your smile line is to apply a blurring primer. That works very, very well. If you have like a primer that blurs your pores, you can use that for your smile lines and it just really gives you a smoother effect. So I just keep on doing this. And as you can see, it's just coming together. Again, I'm going to go back into the contour brush and just retouch it a little bit just to reinforce the contour. I'm gonna grab my blush brush. I'm not gonna go into the product, I'm just going to use the residue from the palette, and I am just going to run this over like so. And without even going into my palette, I have reinforced that blush. Now, there is somewhat a little bit of harsh line between the highlight and the blush. So this is where I go back into my powder palette. I'm going to pick a shade that kind of matches my skin tone. And then I am going to blur out, to blend the harsh lines. This will just give it a more seamless look. I'm grabbing my brush and going into the skin like shade, and I am just blending it in between. As you can see, it just softens into that blush. I'm going to do the same for here. So you want to use a powder that is really your skin shade, nothing too bright, nothing too dark, or else it's going to ruin it. So as you can see, this just makes it look so much better. And the next thing that is very, very important that you want to do is you want to go ahead and set the rest of your face. Remember that you've applied foundation and cream, so you want to set so that everything just works together in harmony. So I'm going into my powder blush, and I am just, so remember, oh, we're pressing it into the skin to really just sit on the skin. So you want to press into the skin. And this is already looking good. Yeah, this is what it looks like. Just pressing it into the skin as much as possible. And then I am going to go ahead and do a reverse contour. Now to do my reverse contour, I'm grabbing my beauty sponge, picking up a shade. I'm going to, so I would always suggest use a straight cut beauty blender, but if you don't have that and you have just a rounded one like this, I'm going to show you how you can do your reverse contour with something like this. You just need to pick the shade that you are doing the contour with, the shade of powder. So the purpose of the reverse contour is to clean up that contour line. So you're basically just going underneath the contour. This gives your face more structure. It kind of gives an illusion of a well-structured cheekbone, right? So once again, you're going to go like so. And you don't want to go too harsh because you're going to have to blend this out. Like so. So remember, the angle matters. So this is what it looks like. So I really don't like to reverse contour, but this is what it looks like when you're reverse contouring. So for to make it easier and blendable, you want to blend this in the bottom. You want to blend this in. Hi Kay, thanks for being on my live. Thank you so much. Now this is what it's looking like. Oh, thank you. So this is what it looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and do the second thing. As you can see, it's giving my cheek more structure. It gives my face more structure. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for this one. So here is where the problem usually is. You actually want to make sure that they are as um, seamless and they look as close to each other as possible. So Another thing is if you're just doing the reverse contour for the first time, another way that you can actually get the right place to reverse contour is by doing this, and you just follow the line, right? So it really isn't hard to do. Just make sure that you're pinching together so that you get um, the product right where you want it to be. So pinch the beauty blender and to work better for you when you do that. And then I'm blending the rest. Delinquent, welcome back. I haven't seen you in a while. Where have you been? If you make sure that if you did a mistake or if you went too low or too high, don't worry. You can go back into your blush brush and just try to give it a pat. And then you can now go back and redo it. So when you come towards the front, you want to make sure that you're feathering it out, or else it's going to be very, very harsh. So you want it as soft as possible. And guys, trust me, it's always very hard to get like the same angle, but just try to get it as close as possible. Mhm. This is the part you should really be bothered about. Make sure that you're using the body to blend it in. You want to press whenever you're blending, you want to press. This enables the product to actually go into the skin and do what it is supposed to do. So just do that. And remember the smile line. I am delinquent, thank you. I don't know what's happening here, but it's been an interesting night. So this I am just pressing in, and that is how you do it. Now let's do the contour, the nose contour. Now the nose contour is pretty simple. You want to grab your brush, and like I say, I always do like a contour, nose contour with powder. So I always just make sure that I have done a good concealing work for the bridge of my nose, and then I can go ahead and place the concealer where I want it to be. Now, depending on your nose structure, this one, when my nose has like a natural, very natural contour, so I try to follow it. I don't try to do too much hash lines. I just follow the lines, right? So I like to grab a powder, and I like, as you can see, it's coming in like so. So I'm just following that line, and I'm going in from here like so. So I'm maintaining that middle line, and then I like to move it into the brow area, and then I blend it. So you want to make sure that it's really, really slow and gentle, because it's so hard to like fix your nose contour when you've already gotten to this stage. So you want to be very careful and gentle, and don't pick too much powder. Take a little bit at a time and build it up. This is what we call building up in makeup. So it's always better to build up than to just put a ton of product, because if you go ahead and put a ton of product, it's going to be so hard to blend. So make sure that you are going in gently at a time. When I get here, I like to go for an even lighter shade of brown. This is what gives this one a very natural Finish. Hi Jahor, how are you? Welcome to my live. How are you today? So this is what it looks like. I'm going ahead to do the exact same thing. Oh, I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. I'm glad. Thanks for coming back. So as you can see, this is what it looks like. Now I like to feather the rest. I don't go into the palette. I just feather it down like so. Now to clean it up, I'm going to grab a beauty blender. And you can either use a beauty blender or a brush. And I am just going to go and cut it from here to give me a very snatched effect. This is really what ties it together. So I really always just focus this here and that's all. So this just gives it a snatched effect. So I'm going to make sure that they're as even as possible. And that's how you do it. Now just leave the rest and just let it sit there for a bit. Now we go to the brows. And to get my brows done, I like to grab my brow sculpting gel. This is the Ioni brand. I like to go in with a spoolie brush. This I'm going to use to apply that gel. And what this gel does is it just brushes the brows in place like you see here. Now, even if I don't want to use any product on the brows to get them done, just brushing it like this and keeping it in place is really all I can do, or all I could do, right? So if you're someone who has very thick, full brows, this is really a very, very nice way to do them. Just make sure that they are in place. And you can also use like the brow gels, the tinted ones. Those ones also work very well because they already have like some brown. So once you apply the tint to it, it looks like it's done. So when I'm done with this, I like to go in with my brush and set the brows. We have to set that because this is a gel. We're working with a gel. And, gels they tend to be greasy depending on the quality of gel you use. So you always want to set it so you don't have problems when you're trying to draw them. And this is all you need to do really. Grab a brush and just apply some setting powder to that brow. And the brows are set and ready to be done. Now, this is the pencil brand that I will be using. This is a brand called Beauty by Didi, and I'm going to be using the roll up side. It has a brush and then it has the pencil. So I like to start from the middle. And the best thing for your brows are steady hands. So make sure that your hands are steady. And then I am just following the natural line of the brow. And then I am just doing it like so. And I get to the front and very light-handedly just drawing it like so. And just giving it some life in front like so, and going in for this part. Now the reason why I like this pencil is because, as you can see, it's very um it's a very nice shade. It kind of just blends in with my brows perfectly. So when you're choosing this kind of pen, always make sure that you try to go for a brown or whatever shade that matches your brow. Then you can, hi Mukta, then you can get a pretty close, right? Where are you watching from? So I like to go ahead and do the same for here, like this. And I am just pulling, oh, thank you. As you can see, this is what it looks like. Hi, piano tutorial. How are you? Welcome to my live. And I'm just following that line. I am good. How are you today? And where are you watching from? Okay. Mixer, hi, how are you? Then I like to brush it just to give it a very nice natural look in the front. As you can see. So if you want, you can leave it like this, but of course I'm not going to leave it like this. I'm going to show you how to clean it up. Okay. Now I am going to go ahead and clean it up. And to do that, I like to use two different shades of foundation. And you can use concealers if you have the right shades. But I find that it's easier for me to work with like the conceal and the foundation to clean my brows because is it doesn't dry quickly, so it's something that I can work with. So you want to get a slow drying concealer if you're someone who is just learning. It just helps you and it gives you time to let the products dry on a much more slower pace so that you can get your job done without being frustrated. Because trust me, it can be frustrating. So I like to pick the bright color first. I'm just putting it on dry and smooth. Oh, how do you mean gas picks? Okay, so this I am just doing it so. And this I am just doing it so. I like to brush it just a bit. And if you go ahead and maybe overline or underline, that's okay. Okay. Da, 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 da. Mhm. That's because how do you mean dry and smooth? Like your day was dry and smooth? Okay. And I'm going to grab a brush and just blend this. As you can see, the product is already beginning to dry, but because this doesn't dry out as quickly, I'm actually able to work with it. So this is what you actually need, especially if you're a beginner. You will find this very, very helpful. So I like to go back in. Oh, hi Cherie. How are you? Welcome back to my live. How are you today? So this is what it's looking like. Okay. Oh, thank you. Are you staying today? Are you going to be here for a while or are you running? Are you running out? So this is what I am doing. Oh, that is nice. Have you done any new cooking videos? Oh, okay. I'm gonna go check it out after this live. Oh, must be nice. Guys, if you love food, you should definitely be following Sherry Hambly. She makes amazing content. So guys, go make sure you follow her. So this is what I am doing. Just blending this in. Oh, that sounds so yummy. That sounds so so yummy. I wish I could eat it. I really wish I could try it. That sounds very lovely. So now that the brows are done, I'm gonna go into the eyeshadow. I like to grab a concealer and place it here and here. So I was wondering though, what kind of potatoes do they use for like baked potatoes? Because I have never really done baked potatoes. So what kind of potatoes do you use for that? Dirty potatoes. Hmm, interesting. But what color are they? Like what color am I gonna be looking for? Cause I only know like fries, right? But and mashed potatoes and then sweet potatoes, but the baked ones, I'm not sure which ones I use for baking. So I'm going to go ahead and just blend this like so. I like to tap. Oh, white. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, now I actually want to try a baked potato recipe. Hmm. I'm definitely gonna go watch your channel and then I'm gonna see. Maybe I will try that, maybe try to recreate it, and then I'll let you know, girl. Aha, roasted potatoes. Oh, ah. Well, I didn't know that. You see, this is why you ask questions because I didn't know that. But thanks for letting me know. I mean, now I know. So, okay. Alrighty. So when this is done, then I go into my palette. Alright, see you soon, Sheree. Now I think I'm gonna do a cut crease today, and let's see what color do I want to use. I want to do something a little out of the ordinary. I want to use a color I usually wouldn't use. So let's see. Alright, I got it. I got the color. Whew, okay. I'm gonna do a very weird combination, guys, but I love to experiment, and today I want to experiment, right? So, wish me luck. Okay. I'm actually excited for this because this is something I haven't tried. So, pretty excited to see how this eyeshadow turns out. I don't know, I always love eyeshadows because you can be so creative with them. So, let's go ahead and start. To do orange or to do pink? Thank you guys, big thanks. Let's see which shade am I gonna do. Okay, guys. This is a very weird combination, by the way, but I'm just gonna try it, okay? If this doesn't come out good, we learn. We learn the hard way. So I'm just picking an orange shade. It's called Rust. And this I am just placing all over my lid, like so. And just placing it like this. So once I've gotten a pretty good shade, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the same for the other eye. So try to get it to match as close as possible. So this I'm just patting here, like so. Guys, are you guys up for another trivia? Or is everyone so tired? So this I am just placing like so. So I always love to build up. It's so much better. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. And now I am just gonna go ahead and blend it out. Now to feather it out or to blend it out, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to be using a very nice blending brush, and I'm using this one. I'm going to be picking, let's see, a brown shade. Guys, this is a very interesting experiment. I am like freaking out because I don't know what I'm doing. But like I said, we're gonna learn. So I like to grab a little bit, and then I like to blend it all out. So to do this, I'm just blending into the orange. That is how I get it to blend out. So if you want, you could use a very soft, a much softer brown, and you can move in circular motion. But whatever you're doing, make sure that you're really blending it into that orange to look like it is one happy family. See that it just sits in there as beautiful as it is. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same for this one. Remember to blend in to that orange and then feather it out in circular motion. Oh, yeah, nice to see you, Nisha. How are you? How have you been? So this I am just blending like so. I already like how it's looking, right? So that is a plus. That is a plus. So I'm just gonna try to remove any form of harsh lines that exist there by blending this in. So this is what we're looking like. Now the next thing I'm gonna do is to grab an entirely contrasting shade and place on top of this eyeshadow. Guys, whew, deep breath. Okay, this can either go south or south. I am not sure what I'm trying to do, but I'm hoping that it's going to count for something. I'm hoping it's a good experiment. So I'm trying to see what happens if you mix orange and put some blue highlight, a blue eyeshadow on top of that orange. Now let's see what it's going to look like. So I like to grab a brush and this I am just placing on that orange like so. Oh, I think I just know, I just got a better idea. So I mean, I'm not sure about this, but I'm just going to trust the process. Oh, sweet. Oh, thank you, Nisha. Thank you, thank you. Do you ever travel out? Nisha, do you ever travel out? Have you ever traveled out? So now I'm going to grab a green and this I'm just placing on top of this like so. I contrasted that blue with the green. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about this eyeshadow. Guys, I don't think I can trust the process anymore. This is a very interesting combination. Well, let's see. Oh, do you plan to travel out? Would you like to travel out? Okay. This is what it looks like. Guys, there are like lots of fallout. So this is why whenever you're doing your makeup, you should place some powder underneath so that it grabs the fallout and then you're able to swipe it off. Or else you're going to have a lot of troubles and marks. But this is pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and apply a green to this. I'm not even sure this is a good combo, guys. Oh boy. So this, I'm just trying to figure it out. Oh, Nisha, I wish you would, though. I wish you would travel a little. It'd be nice to see you, right, in person. Oh, I know. Well, you never know. You never know. Life is still full of surprises. You never know. Okay. Okay, looks like a disaster, but what did I say? Gonna trust the process. So let me do something that I feel would give this a little bit of sense. It's gonna make a little bit of sense, I hope. So I'm gonna come here and try to blend this side into that shadow, just using an empty brush. And then I'm doing the same for here, so that the middle is kind of like the center of attraction. Oh, hi Imad, thank you very much. Oh, for some reason this actually seems to be working. Okay. I'm loving the effect. It's now looking very metallic. Oh, okay, maybe. I haven't traveled anywhere apart from Canada, so maybe, just maybe. You never know. So I am just blending this into this part. Okay, I think I went overboard with that one. Well, let's see if we can salvage it. At this point, I feel like the orange was basically useless. because it doesn't seem to really be penetrating underneath. So you see, this is why you should actually try experiments so that you know what works and what doesn't work. So let's see if we can go back into that orange shadow and do something with it. Oh, of course, I would definitely do that. So I'm going back with that orange to see if I can just blend it in. Okay, I'm thinking now that I actually want to do something else. Because I feel like this isn't really turning out the way I thought. So let's see if we can switch it up a bit. I'm kind of scared of switching it up because I feel like it's going to ruin things. Like I said, you never know until you try. Let's go. So I'm grabbing this shade, it says graphite, and this I am going to be putting to blend into that color just to give it some darkness. Just a teeny bit of darkness, kind of just to make it work. Okay, actually worked. And this, I'm just blending it out like so. Okay, I feel like this kind of works so much better. And I'm gonna do the same here. Using that graphite shade, it just gives the color a much more better outlook. Kind of blends in so much better. So now I kind of ended up getting a smoky eye. I didn't really want that, but that was the only way to salvage it, right? So I can't complain too much. I'm going back with that shadow brush and we're going to blend, because we need to blend to fix this. So I like to just keep on running that brush, keep on running it over and over and over and over and over until I am satisfied. Okay, now I think this kind of looks cool. Okay, so now we can go back into the orange and just touch it just a little bit. Now this is a very interesting eyeshadow. I mean, it's something I might try once in a while, right? But cannot be my staple. So this is going to be blended in as pretty as this, and just blending the edge into this. There you go. Now remember to dust off any fallouts. So you want to be very careful so that it doesn't ruin your makeup. Now that I'm done with my eyeshadow, I'm going to go ahead and apply some eyeliner just to wrap this up. I'm going to do an eyeliner technique that I have seen. It's been done for quite a while, so we're going to do it today. Seeing that we kind of ended up going in with a smoky eye, I'm just going to tie this up. So this is what the eyeliner technique is basically. When you get here, you cannot just leave that liner to feather out. You can grab like a liner brush and just kind of smoke it out into the eyeshadow. Now, it doesn't matter, you can reinforce this with an eyeshadow. So I'm just blending that liner into the shadow. to give it an even more defined smoke at the edge. So we're going to clean that up when we're done. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing here. Okay. So remember the angle and make sure that you're giving it a very close angle like the first one. I'm going to extend this one just a little bit. And when we get here, we're going to be blending it out. So remember, you can use your liner brush to smudge this out. Now another trick is to go into your eyeshadow palette, look for a black. Hi RLE, welcome to my live. So this is what I am doing, like this. I'm going to go back in with that brush and then I'm gonna blend it in like so. Okay. Okay. So this is done. I actually really like it. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to line the bottom of my eyes, and for this I'm going to just grab my brush, go into a black eyeshadow, and I'm just going to smudge it here. Let's see. Hi Beanie, how are you? Welcome to my live. Okay, now this is giving a very dark theme look, but I'm going to go in with that orange and just feather it out at the bottom. I'm good, Beanie. How are you? How are you today? So I'm just using the orange underneath the black, like so. Where are you watching from? I just want to blend these together. Mhm. US. Oh, nice. Very nice. I'm based in Canada. Well, Beanie, it's good that you're here. You can learn how to do makeup from my channel. So this is what it's looking like. And when I get to the front, I'm gonna look for like a very nice shimmery shade, and I'm going for a gold. Oh, come, we're inviting you to Canada. Come, come, come. Okay. All right. So that is the eye look complete. And to complete this, of course, I'm going to be putting a mascara, and then we're going to be putting lashes because what is makeup without lashes? There you go. This is what it's looking like. This is very like nice for a night out. Smoky eye will always be nice for a night out. So I'm glad that this little experiment turned out good. But anyways, I'm going into my lash. Really? Well, I think makeup can be a hit or miss, right? Everyone's like face just has the kind of makeup that suits them. So if you try to do the makeup that someone else is doing, it might not really suit your face, right? So you just have to figure out that your face like very light makeup or can you go full, right? Okay, so I'm going to be using this dramatic blush because I think this is going to work very well on this look. Oh, thank you, Beanie. All right, so I like to go in with my glue from the Kids Beauty brand. And I like to always apply this to my lash and just set it aside to dry a little bit before I apply it. Mm, just doing that. So you want to apply a pretty good amount and just let this to sit. So we're gonna let this sit out for a bit. I think my best part of makeup is always like putting the lipstick and letting everything come together, right? So I can't wait. I wonder which lipstick. I think I'm gonna go for something orange peachy, just cause like the eyeshadow already has that kind of vibe. So I hope it does look good, cause I'm just gonna be so mad if the lipstick doesn't suit the look. Yeah, or we'll just change it, right? Just change it if it doesn't look good. That's a much better option, right? Peach is a good shade, right, for this look. All right, I go with what you say, Beanie. I am definitely following your idea. All right. All right. It's so hard to get like glue sometimes because you could go overboard and then I don't have my salon yet. I don't work in a salon. Um Sadly, there are not many salons here that do makeup. So most of them either do like just hair or you have to go to like a makeup shop or like Sephora. I haven't really seen a salon that has makeup store, right? So it's pretty separated where I am. But if I were to have, it would be like an all-in-one store, right? Hair, you get your hair done, you get your nails done. Like, see, guys, this one it was done by me, right? And these are my natural nails. So, like, you get your hair done, you get your nails done, you get your makeup done, right? The all-in-one service. So that you can just get your glam up and go. And you don't have to go to so many places to get glammed up. All right, this one is going to be drying. Now let's see this one. I believe this one should be ready. So I'm just going to grab a closer mirror just because it's so much better when you can see what you're actually doing. All right, let's get this lash in place. And sadly, I don't know how to use like the tweezers. It just doesn't work for me. It's so difficult to do lashes with tweezers. I don't even know how people do it, but I always find it so hard. I'm like, this is so difficult. Okay, so guys, wish me luck because this could be very stressful. So when I put my lashes right, I like to make sure that um it's actually sitting on my skin. Oh boy. I try to make sure that it's sitting on my skin and not on my lash because when I have to take it out, then I have to rip out some lashes. So you don't want that. Guys, what do you think? Is this a good lash for this makeup? Or do you want me to wear something else? Hmm, I don't know that this lash fits this look. I kind of feel like it hides the look just a little bit. Really? You think it looks good? Okay, whatever you guys say. So why I really like this lash brand is that it actually looks like you got your lashes done in the salon. I love the I love the details to the lashes. And I got this on Temu. It was like $3. And it was a pack of five. So I feel like that is a very, very good deal. Okay, okay. So I like to press with my hands so that it really just conceals the natural lash. And there is no like line. And this is why you also need to always apply your mascara. And this is done. Okay, this is done. This is done, guys. Oh, this is done. Oh, I love my makeup. Oh, I love my makeup. Anyways, I'm going to finish this off by cleaning it off with a brush. Now, this is the part where you want to dust out any fallout from your eyeshadow. I do live every day by 10 p.m. Canadian time, Toronto Canadian time. So I'm here every day. And sometimes I do like trivias on my live. It's always very fun when I do trivia. So I'm going to clean off. Now to do that, I'm taking the beauty blender and I am just pressing this into my skin. Now you don't want to go dusting off. This is actually your best bet to getting this well blended. You want to blend it in with the beauty blender. That way you get a more seamless blend. So you just want to keep pressing, pressing, and pressing. All right. So you want to do the same thing here. Just keep pressing, pressing, pressing until it has blended seamlessly. So the goal is to make sure that everything turns out looking seamless and nice. So make sure you keep blending until you don't see any hash lines. So that is the only way that, and the best way for like getting excess powder off is actually to blend it in. So when you press it in, it really just blends. As you can see, now you can't really see any hash line. Oh, excuse me, guys, I'm sorry. Now I am going to go ahead and do my lipstick. And for my lipstick, I like to use, let's see, I think I want to switch it up a little bit today. Since, let me see, I'm going to use a very, very dark brown so that the peachy shade could really just look, be the center, right? So I'm using my brown pencil. This is the brand called Davis. You can actually find this on Shein. The brand name is Davis. And guys, I am a Shein affiliate, so I'm gonna send you guys that code so that you can use some of the products that I have used. I've used some of the She Glam products and they are very, very nice. Like the body highlighter, very nice. I had it, but I think I went for a makeup job and I left it there. So that was how I lost it, right? But it was very, very, very nice and super lightweight. So guys, when I get my Shein haul, I'm going to show you which products that I have used and how they worked well, from how they lasted to the shading and everything. So I'm grabbing. Hi Caleb, how are you? Welcome to my live. So I like to follow the natural line. Oh yeah, of course. So this I am just, yes, Caleb, yes, yes, yes. And this, I am doing like this just to make sure that it's well blended in. So this is how I like to put the body of the pencil so that it kind of gives me that ombre effect, and it just makes it so much easier for me. So when I get to the bottom, I'm going to be using my hand to even it out. And as you can see, this looks nice already. Now I'm going to just blend this out. Oh, thank you so much, Beanie. Thank you. Now I'm going to do this. Thanks, Beanie. I hope to see you again. Okay, bye. So this is what it looks like. Hi, Mary. Welcome back. Ooh, I think this was the perfect shade. Oh, it matches my shirt. Uh-huh. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna run this over with this lip gloss. Oh, thank you, Heather. Trust me, it was a very funny experiment. The eyeshadow was a very, very funny experiment, but I'm glad it came out nice. So this is the final touch. And I think this pairs perfectly with the shadow just because it kind of blends with the inner work. So, chef's kiss. So, now to finish off, I'm going to go ahead and just run my powder brush all over my face to make sure that everything just goes into each other. Guys, you can see a little bit of glitter, and this is fallout from my eyeshadow. So a good practice is actually to put powder under your eye so that it catches the eyeshadow fallout. So now I'm just going to be finishing this up. Remember that I put some powder just close to the nose, so I'm getting my powder brush to blend that in. You always have to blend everything in or you're going to end up with harsh lines. And for powders, the best way to blend it in is to press it in like so. I'm really just pressing it in and fixing this part. And this is the makeup complete. Hmm, excuse me, guys. Okay. Now everything is done. When you are done with your makeup as usual, you have to spray your setting spray so that everything just blends harmoniously. So I'm using the Mario Butter School And I like to use two first because the first spray kind of breaks all the powder down, makes it all come together. Then the second spray can be to lock it in. So make sure you spray everywhere. And when you're drying, don't touch. Oh, thank you, Heather. So when this is done drying, I'm gonna go ahead and spray my Urban Decay. I'm going to spray this one. All right. Make sure you dry it again. So when this is done, you can go ahead and apply your mascara to your bottom lash. Okay. There you have it. A very nice full glam makeup look. Now you can go ahead and run over um, your face with a powder brush. This just sets everything in together. That is the end. Now with some hair, this is what the makeup looks like. Thank you, guys, because I thought you were gone. Um, so this is the end of this tutorial, guys. If you love my video, give my video a thumbs up, share, comment, subscribe, and of course, I'm gonna see you again in my life, guys. Thank you so much if you've watched this far, and if you have any makeup looks that you want me to try, just let me know. Just let me know. You can send me inspiration on my Instagram. My Instagram is in this video. I placed it in the description box. You can check my thank you, guys. It's always a pleasure to have you on my life. So make sure that you are subscribing to my channel. Make sure that you are sharing my videos so that other people too can learn makeup. And also say hello to me on Instagram. If you see inspirations that you want me to try out, you can send them to me on my Instagram at pinkray_brand. And guys, I will see you again tomorrow. Thanks for being in my life. Bye, guys.